I'm on my computer as well.
So no,
So
so hold on. So who do you have? Like you have
I,
100 down, 100 up, and you're on AT&T?
yeah, yeah.
Jesus. So you have AT&T fiber, right?
We're like the one right before fiber. I'm gonna upgrade to fiber. I wanted to upgrade to fiber probably when my baby's here because I'm gonna be at home.
Yeah.
So I have time to like, hey, AT&T guy come because I'm working from home, so it's real hard for people to come while I'm working because I
Yeah.
kind of want to watch them. I don't want to work while they're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's just weird. So I told my wife I was like, hey, when the baby's here, I'm probably gonna upgrade the internet probably right around May, just to get fiber, just because usually I don't know what happened. I don't know, knock on wood. Maybe it's because I moved the modem to like a good spot, but usually it's trash, man. Like in the rooms, like the range isn't very good.
Did
So I had to
did
buy a
did,
separate.
did you try like doing the 2G in the room maybe? Like 2G devices in the room?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But like honestly, dude, like I bought a separate router, and the router like increased like the
He
range.
used it as a Wi-Fi extender?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, nah, that's the hack too. Cause it's just sometimes the 5G be mad weak. I don't know what happened if I did something, but yo, I don't. I'm literally the next room is where the router is right behind me,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I swear it used to happen, but now I don't even get full power on 5G in my room, and I'm like, yo, how close I gotta be to this shit? I'm like, every other device gets full bars, full connection, whatever. So I don't know. It just might be something with this computer. Maybe I got too much wood around it now, like, cause now it's underneath a desk. It never used to be in there. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, yeah, no, like so I had to get like that router, and that gave me like so I was getting about like 80 in the rooms,
Yeah.
which isn't great. Um, but oh, let me mute this real quick. Okay, sweet, there you go. I can see you now. So I was getting like 80 in the room, um, and so that was doable, but I was tired of moving my because I was moving my computer out to the front room so I could be with the Wi-Fi. I was doing stuff.
Yeah.
And so after that, I was just like, man, I'm tired of this. So I brought the setup back to the bedroom, and I was worried that the internet was going to be bad. But I tested it, and I was like, man, I'm getting like 100 and something in here. That we usually get like 10.
I'm just like mad surprised because I'm just used to AT&T sucking a lot. So I was like, man, 100 down, 100 up. That's like Google's basic plan, dude. If I could have ever got them to do that for me, but we just live in a bad neighborhood, dog. Like, yo, the highest you can get in this neighborhood is like 50 down, 5 up. Still from AT&T. Like, it's crazy. Like, and it's on AT&T for whatever reason. With Spectrum, you can go as high as I can go higher. Like their most expensive stupid plan is I guess 1 gig down, 40 up, which is so misbalanced, but whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. No,
so
I get you.
um, but yeah, man, like good for you, because I wish I could get like especially as like a video person. I mean, I don't do no serious video anymore, man, but like yo, those upload speeds, man, when you're doing like gigs of video, yo, like that shit is dope. In like 1 minute, you upload like a bunch of 4K videos, if not bigger. So I wish I had that shit.
Yeah, yeah. No, most definitely.
So yo, tell me about last week. How's last week?
Oh man, dude, like it's crazy. I guess trying to go through it. So it's Sunday night is when it starts snowing, right?
Yeah,
And so I was like excited. Like I was just like, oh man, bro, I can't wait for it to snow. I can't wait for it to snow. Like I was super excited, kept looking outside. And then it snowed, and I was like, okay, like everything's gonna be all right, everything's gonna work out. And then we lost power throughout the night. Like every hour we'll lose power and it'll come back. And it just really, really just kept snowing and snowing. And
I almost feel like we
it,
on the
it
same grid or something, because I it was 3 times I think I lost power until the final time where we lost power for real.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So like,
Like,
when I woke up at like 7, right?
yeah.
And we had power still, and I looked at my phone because I have ADT,
So 7
and like,
a.m.
No, we still had it at 7. Yeah, yeah. So it was like I was getting notifications on my phone saying that, oh, you lost power, you gained power, you lost power, you gained power, you lost power, you gained power. And
Yeah.
I was like, man, I guess these rolling blackouts is the way it's gonna be. So that's the way I thought it was gonna be. And then 9 o'clock came, and that's when we lost power. And I was like, okay, we'll be back like by 10. And then by the time it was 10, I was like, that's weird, it's not here. I guess we'll be here by 11. It's 11, and I'm like, okay, this is getting like really weird. This is like 2 hours. So I was just like, okay, maybe noon, right? And then noon, nothing. And so I'm like, okay, this is weird. I was like, we're going 3 hours without power. Like, and I'm looking at like everybody on Facebook. Well, I'm trying to look at everybody on Facebook, but because my service like completely
It's
like,
trash now, right?
yeah. And I was like, what the heck? Like in my head, I was like, what's going on? Like, I have data right now. I have 5G or 4G, whatever I
Yeah.
have. And I was just like, what in the world's going on? Like, this is like really weird. And then like my mom's trying to call me, but it's not connecting. So I'm just like, I was like I was a little worried. But then finally my messages were going through, and my parents, they had power still. But we didn't. And then the wife was like, hey man, like I don't want to be here because I don't know how long the power's gonna be on. Can I go to my parents? And she was like, do you want to go with me? And I was like, I'll stay home for now because I had to work on Wednesday, but this is Monday. So I'm thinking that the power's gonna come back, and then maybe it's gonna be like a day thing.
Mm.
Um, so she goes to her parents on Monday, and I stay here, and man, it was just wild because every hour would pass by, and I'll be like, I think it's gonna come back at 2 or 4 or 6, and then those hours were just coming by, and I was like, man, this power's not turning on, and it's getting cold in the house. My phone's dying, so I think at 6 o'clock was the first time I went to my car to charge my phone. I backed out the garage
Yeah.
because I didn't want to kill myself by accident.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was charging my phone for about an hour, and then I go in, and then 7 o'clock magically I get service. But by that time it's started getting dark, and I'm just like, man, this is like wild. Like it's pitch black. I haven't eaten anything all day, by the way. So I'm
Mm.
just like, man, this is wild. Like what in the world's going on? And I suddenly get service, so I'm able to communicate with people like, hey, I'm alive. We just don't have power, and I'm just like, man, I'm bored. Like, there's nothing to do. Like the hours I just literally been doing nothing, and I was like, well, since my service is working, let me see if I can hotspot to my iPad, right? And I was like, maybe it'll work. And so I hotspot to my iPad, and I'm able to actually like watch YouTube TV and stuff like that. And that kind of got me through the next 3 hours. And then I was like, oh, dude, I need to charge my phone again. So I went back out to the car. 10 o'clock again for another hour. But this time, I think I started the trend because all my neighbors were outside charging their phones in their cars. So I was like, okay, cool. I don't look like a weirdo, but it's just really weird because it's dark outside. And at this point, I think it was about like maybe 18 degrees.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, man, this is really, really crazy. Like, it's just getting cold and cold and cold. And I go back in about 11, and I was like, I'm going to wait till 12. Again, I haven't eaten. So I'm like, I'm going to wait till 12. Hopefully it turns on so I can eat something. It doesn't turn on at 12. I'm just like, I'm just going to go to bed. So I go lay down. I have like 5 blankets. Like, I'm just completely wrapped, dude. Um, for some reason, I randomly woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, like 2 hours later, and we had power. And so like I ran out of my room, and I went and I freaking made some beef stew. Like I'll tell you, dude, I was so excited. And
Did you get to finish
so
making it for the power
yes,
went off?
yes.
Okay.
So thankfully we had power for like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Um,
And this is like the end of day
so
one, right?
yeah, yeah, this is day one. So this is like
Yeah.
Tuesday, early Tuesday AM. And I was just like, man, I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna watch some TV. I'm gonna warm up. Like it just felt good because my face wasn't cold. Like I was under the blanket, under everything, but my face was just exposed. So my ears, everything was cold. So it felt good to have some sort of warm air. When I checked the thermostat, when I woke up at that 2 a.m., it said it was 48 in the house, and I was like, "That's just wild, bro!
Mm.
Like that's just crazy." So I was able to eat something finally, and I was watching the Australian Open because they're in Austria, so it was live. I got something to watch, and I watched that for a little bit, and then 4:30 is
Wait,
like,
what's
okay, I'm
that?
gonna go
Was
back to
that like
bed.
tennis or something?
Yeah, yeah, tennis. I was just watching some tennis, just because there's nothing else on, and I was like, you know what, I got TV. So I'm just like, I was like, I'm going to bed at 4:30, and then I think I wake up at like 9, right? And the power's out again. I got a notification the power went out 5:30, so I was like, oh my god. So I wait till about noon, and that's when I told my wife, I said, hey, you know what, like, come over here and pick me up so we can go to your parents because this is just too cold. And we brought our cat with us. And we just chilled at her parents since Tuesday. And I came back here to my house on Thursday afternoon because that's when we finally got the power back. But we came and checked on the house on Wednesday just because I don't know if you. I'm pretty sure you see it too. A lot of people's pipes were busting,
I didn't hear about that
and
till I got power. So
yeah,
like I didn't know that really. I didn't know that.
so I finally on Wednesday I'm just seeing like my timeline, just a bunch of people, close friends. They're like, dude, our pipes busted, our pipes busted. So it warmed up a little bit on Wednesday. So I told my wife, I was like, hey man, like we should drop by our house just to check. I know we don't have power because we didn't get no notifications that our power's back on. And so we dropped by Wednesday and I checked everything, no leaks, thank God. You know, very blessed because a lot of people that I know had, dude, just tons of damage because of that.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was one heck of a week, bro. Like, I mean, I only went about, a good 2 days without it until I retreated to people who had power. But man, I'll tell you, it's just, it was crazy. And I felt bad for the people who weren't able to go anywhere, man. And hopefully it's a wake up call for us to be like, hey, man, just in case something like this ever happens again, we need to really be prepared as a state because I felt like we failed like miserably.
Oh,
And
that's because we did. I feel like well, to me, the more important wake up call is like, so wake up call for us as individuals that,
yeah,
the state ain't gonna really take care of you. Too busy taking care of
yeah,
itself. Um, but yeah, no, it's good you had a place to go and stuff.
yeah. It was definitely very wild, and I was also very scared. I was like, man, we're gonna go here, and then they're gonna lose power, and like that was the thing in the back of my mind that
I was
just
gonna be like
we're
a
gonna,
movie. It just
yeah,
keeps going.
yeah, it just keeps going, and people were staying at hotels, but I heard that they were charging a lot to stay at like a hotel. So I was just like, man,
Maybe
this is
supply and
just,
demand, especially in the
yeah,
COVID
exactly.
world where maybe they're not getting people, So,
I was just like, man, this is just, it was crazy. And dude, everything in my fridge went bad because when I came back Thursday, once we got power, you know how it snowed like 12 hours on Thursday. I had to drive through that home because like I told the wife, I said, hey man, the
how
power's
how
been on
how
for
far was it?
it was about just 10 minutes, but still,
Yeah, yeah.
I had to go through some highway and so I made it home and everything was good. I turned the heater on. I got the house warmed up. And I was like, oh, dude, I was like, I need to check the fridge, bro. Like everything was just the bacon was bad.
Mm.
All my ham, my cheese, everything was just. It was just. I had to throw away so much stuff, and I was like, man, this is just this. I'm glad that we didn't really stock like some people were stocking. You know how they're like 8 things of bread and like 12 cases of water and like chicken for days. We only had like the necessities to get through like a week, like a typical week,
Yeah.
because we knew we weren't going to go anywhere, and it just sucked though seeing that all that food went to waste. But I mean, apparently our homeowners insurance covers that, so I mean,
It
I
covers
guess.
food?
But yeah, that's what they're saying.
Hmm.
So the wife filed a claim on that, and hopefully they reimburse us. But it was just wild, man, and uh,
If you
it
if you
sucks.
claim something like that, do you get penalized?
I have no idea to be honest.
That's interesting. I'm
I,
gonna look that up.
yeah, man. So thankfully, that's what we're working on. And I went to HB today, and I got some stuff to, just a typical run. Again, we don't when we go to stuff like this, we don't panic buy like everybody.
Yeah.
I just get like the stuff that we need. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to take away from families that really need it. Like my goodness, dude, I saw some carts like just. I'm just like, man, how many people are in your family, bro?
It's just
Like
one
we're gonna
guy
have.
there.
I'm like, we're gonna have good weather this week. It's 70 degrees outside, man.
Yeah.
Uh, so, but thankfully I was able to get some stuff. But
Well, a lot of
it's
stuff on
just,
the weekend, I don't think it was panic buying as much as just like replenishing all the food everybody lost.
yeah, yeah, no, absolutely.
So,
And it's crazy, man. Like it ruined the snow, man. But I tell you what, Thursday though,
yeah.
when I had power and I was at home, I was able to enjoy the snow a little bit because it wasn't too cold. Because when it first snowed, it was like freezing outside, so we didn't really go outside a lot. We were like outside maybe like 10 minutes. But when it was snowing, man, I was outside. I was like happy. I was like, man, this is the way it's supposed to be. You have power, you could enjoy it. It's not too bad. But man, it was just a wild week, man. And you know, what were you up to during this? Because honestly, I didn't really
I
do
slept a
much.
majority of it, but like three and a half. I think it was like 3.5 to 4 days over here. But we had a few snowmen here. The whole block had no power.
Yeah,
I
our whole
feel like
neighborhood didn't have power.
by day 3, I don't know where they got them from, but a lot of people had generators though. It was just like
Yeah,
because I would go for walks every day, and
yeah,
I would
yeah,
just hear
yeah,
like my
yeah,
every
yeah,
house I would
yeah,
walk
yeah.
by. But yeah, I think it was like I don't know around 2 a.m. the first one. I was taking 2 or 3 a.m. I was taking a shower,
Dang, in the
and
cold.
no. So we have power still, but
Oh, you still?
like it hasn't started yet. But the power went out while I was taking a shower.
Oh man, that's the
So
worst.
I just ran out and got the phone and finished it. But I just assumed it was gonna come. But it came back like 2 or 3 times, and
Yeah,
then the
yeah.
final time I went to sleep, and when I woke up, whenever in the afternoon, I was like, "Yo, man, like it's really still gone? Like it still hasn't
Yeah,
come back yet, you know?"
yeah.
And then eventually, like it leads, and what that led to me doing, like kind of when I was like figuring what's going on, I actually like fasted for 4 days, like till it was
Dang,
over. Yeah, I
that's
just didn't eat.
crazy.
Just cause I figure like I don't know, I'd be like real comfortable all the time,
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
would just put me in ketosis, and that's like a survival state of mind. So I
yeah,
just kind of went into like, all right, well, I guess I don't really be trying a lot, so like this is a survival mode. I should probably go into survival mode. So I just went there. But yeah, man. Other than that, I was just kind of hibernating a lot. I would read books. I would just think and go for walks, and that's it. But it was real cold though. I think, but our house didn't get below. I think like the 50s though. I think we were just in the
yeah,
50s. But it was tough on my mom's sister and my dog though. They don't like the cold. I,
yeah,
I, I
yeah, yeah.
took 2 cold showers during this.
Dude,
Like
yeah, that's terrible.
but so it just helps me like be a little bit more used to it than probably most people are.
Yeah, yeah.
Um
No, I feel you on
I'm
that.
not immune to it or nothing. I could just maybe tolerate it a little bit more and longer, like than most
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
Um but yeah, no, it's just like a lot of time to think and do and it's
yeah.
just
It really
funny. Then when it
was.
came back Thursday around 11 a.m., I feel like I just reverted back to normal. All
Yeah,
right,
right.
now I'm gonna eat crap again, and that's it.
Yeah, yep.
Now I'm lazy again. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. Like, it's cold all over the house and shit. Like, I would just literally just be hibernating in bed, and I had like the doo-doo service, so I couldn't even really watch stuff.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I feel you on that, man. Like, I was like, man, I have my data's not out, so I was like, why is it running so slow? I was like, nothing's even loading. I was seeing the same Facebook statuses. I was like, I give up.
it's fun. Only thing that really worked was like YouTube on 160 occasionally, and like that was it.
160.
Yeah, so I would just
We're
listen to
back
stuff. But
back when
Spotify
you
and other stuff didn't really work. Twitch definitely don't work. That shit is money hungry, dude. What's up, Tomas?
yeah,
But yeah, man. Like I don't know. I was just in that mode though. It's just a lot of meditation, and it's just kind of like a big endurance 4-day endurance test. That's really it for me.
it truly was, man. And
That
like,
and like speaking to like yeah, like it any of my military people, it didn't seem like it was nothing for them.
oh yeah, of
Um,
course.
all like it was just the normal people who seem to have it like really tough because they just don't like feeling the cold and stuff.
Yeah,
So
that and the people who have a obsession of going out every day weren't
yeah,
able to,
I mean
and
you
they're
still
just
can.
yeah. No,
Like
I meant
those
like
crazy people who like love running. Like I don't hate running, but I don't like running because it's just not good for me. All right, just like my knees and all that. It's just not good for me. But I mean, there was nothing stopping you. You could totally run.
no, not those
You know,
people, man. I'm talking, I'm,
like,
I'm, talking,
like,
I'm talking
like-
about the people who like live and die, live and breathe for going to bars and clubs. They're just
oh well,
like,
they've been fucked since
yeah, man.
March, though, right?
Oh no, bro. Have you
Like,
seen Cowboys, man? People be going to concerts there, and I'm just like, I guess they don't
Yo, what's the
realize.
thing by UTSA? Is it Hills and Dales? If Tomas still
Yeah,
here, he might know.
Hills and Dell and
That
the
shit
Well.
look packed as fuck on the weekend.
Yeah,
Anytime
yeah,
I drive by it,
yep,
I was like, "Oh, my bad. I ain't know COVID
yeah,
don't exist at that bar." I
yeah,
was
exactly.
like,
That's why I'm just like, man, y'all are full. I mean, I don't do anything, bro. I'm always just here. I
Are
work
you
from home.
you
You
family
know,
man now? What they call it in Japan? You a salary man, dog. You a salary man.
I've been a family man,
Yeah,
and it's
you
just
family man now.
it's crazy, man. You know,
So yeah.
but I mean, what can I do, right? I guess that's the circle of life. I don't know, right?
What do you
You
mean?
know,
What's the circle of life?
you grow up, you have your kids, you raise your kids, and then you live the rest of your life and you die. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I guess I'm just following just the typical circle. You know?
But you enjoying that, right?
Oh yeah, dude, it's just great. I think it's because I would like to say, you know, I had a very good childhood, a very good relationship with my parents. So being able to kind of get ready to transition that into, you know, once my son is born in April, which is like right around the corner,
Mm.
it's just pretty much continuing what left off with my parents. You know what I mean? I'm passing on what they pass on to me to him, and it's just, you know, going with the circle.
Mm. Shout out to Elton John then, dude. Circle of life. Let's go.
Yeah, man.
You looking forward to April? Daddyhood?
Um, a little nervous, but I mean I get 4 months off from work, so I mean I can't complain about that, you
Feel
know.
like you're more
So
excited about that than you.
um I, I'm more excited to really kind of like take care of the little guy, man, meet
Yeah.
him, you know that fatherhood stuff. That's
Yeah.
really and I know it's gonna be tough, but I mean I know I'll be all right, you know.
Hmm.
I have a lot of support. You know, my in laws are fantastic. My parents are great. They're ready for a little guy, and same with my in laws. Everybody's ready, bro. Like I've never seen so many people excited. I'm just like, man, it's just me. You know, it's great. You know, like aunts and uncles, just the support that we're getting, and not just from family, like friends, man. Like one of my friends from work, he gave me a bunch of stuff for the baby, a bunch of bottles, a car seat, a really nice car seat. I was like, "Are you sure you want to give this to me, man?" He's like, "Nah, dude, go ahead." And
Mm.
I was like, "All right." And then he gave me like a little bassinet, and then people are just giving us all this stuff, bro. It's like it's crazy, man. You know, but that just kind of shows, you know, the good side of people. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I'm very appreciative of everything, all the stuff that people are getting us, and we have like I guess an Amazon registry. So a
Uh-oh.
bunch of people have been buying the stuff. So it's crazy, man. It's just great, man.
The plug right there. The
For sure,
registry.
for sure, for sure. But
That's what's up, man. Happy for you. Happy for you.
yeah, man. And
Should be an interesting time. You better not be up late at night texting me.
uh,
When you a father.
oh man, yeah, I know you always tell me
Like,
that.
look
You're
at
like,
my
man,
Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Like, dude, you're a father now. Stop. Stop.
I probably am though, to be honest, man. Because little man's gonna keep me awake, so I'm gonna be up the whole time.
But it
But
better be complaining. It better not be like, yo, man, I got this new Yu-Gi-Oh thing on eBay. It better not
yeah,
be.
I need to stop doing that. Well, actually, no, I've been pretty good. I haven't really bought a lot of stuff lately. Well, I'm planning on buying some stuff because it just came out, but um, I've been pretty good. I remember I went on a little bit of a craze when I was buying all those Pokemon stuff,
Mm,
but I stopped. I told you I was going to stop in December, and I did, thankfully.
mm.
Um, so I've been pretty good. Been saving up for the little guy, and um, man, I don't know why, but I really want to buy a laptop. I'm trying to tell myself don't do it, but I think it's gonna happen.
Why?
I
Don't
think
you
it's gonna
got one
happen.
right there?
I mean, I have the gaming PC,
No,
but
but don't you got me on one right there?
no. I'm on my phone right now.
Oh, but I thought you opened up Twitch on another thing on a.
Oh yeah. I have you. So I guess can I flip the camera through here?
Yeah, yeah. There's a I don't there's a
Let me
button
see.
somewhere.
Yeah, there's. So this is where I'm at right now. I'm on my little gaming station. So there,
Oh,
that's
so
where
this is a
you're at.
desktop.
Yeah. So I have the desktop right here.
Cool, cool.
So
All
that's
right.
what I'm using.
So then, what do you want a laptop for then?
Convenience, bro. I think it's gonna be well once the little man's here. You know, when his little guy's asleep, I have a laptop there. Whether I'm like in the baby's room
Mm.
or whether,
That way you could always play Diablo 2 remastered.
well, not. It's just more of a convenience factor, man. because I'm in the room right now. So say the wife is with the baby in the front. Something happens, I gotta run out. But if I have the laptop, I'm kind of like just there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's probably
Yeah, it's
gonna
just
be
there.
Windows then, right?
Yeah. No, I'm talking about like a gaming PC. I saw one for like 600 or 700, and it looked pretty good. And I was like, I'm not trying to get anything spectacular, man. You know, I'm not like a heavy duty streamer. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
just returned to Legion 5 in
Mm.
January. It was pretty dope, but it kind of like was taking care of my video needs. It had like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
1600 in there,
yeah,
but
yeah,
where it failed me and just pissed me off, like, cause I felt like I was already making compromises like on certain things, but overall did what I wanted to do. But where it pissed me off is like, yo, it couldn't going back to where we started. It couldn't connect to 5G consistently.
yeah,
And I don't like
yeah,
it had a new Wi-Fi 6 in there, so I don't know if it's
yeah,
maybe too new for the old gear. But I was like,
yeah,
look,
yeah.
man, if I'm paying money, like I kind of want exactly what I want. Otherwise, like
No, exactly.
I don't know, that's it's just such a basic thing. Like if you're gonna mess up on something like that, now I talked to their customer service, it was
Yeah, yeah.
trash, and I went on the
Dude,
internet and like it seemed to be
not
like other
surprised.
people were having issues with it, and no one had a real solution for. I was like, all right, this is
Yeah,
stupid. I'm
sounds about
leaving.
right, man.
I'm leaving. I can't no more with this.
Yeah,
So.
man. I mean, I believe it because there's a video on YouTube. It's this guy. What he does is he wanted to buy the most expensive PC from Walmart and review it, like the quality. And the one he bought, they actually sent him the wrong one. So he bought I think it was like a $2,500 PC from Walmart, which is just ridiculous. And they sent him like the $1,500 one, something like that.
Yeah,
And he calls the customer service man, and it was just like he plays it on the video, and it was just it was terrible. And I was just like, man, I'm not surprised. I'm glad I don't have to deal with any of that,
it's
man.
weird, man. It's weird. It made me go like, all right, man. I probably for a laptop anyway, because this was a laptop. So I was like, for a laptop, I'm probably gonna have to stay with Team Apple. You know, like
Team Apple, yeah. I
um
mean, they
um.
have some good stuff, man. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting a MacBook, because I could
But then you
have the
can't
wife
do any
use
of the
that.
gaming stuff unless things change in the
Yeah, that's
future.
true.
You still kind of screwed on gaming.
I
Like,
did. What's funny is when Diablo 3, when their expansion came out, the Reaper of Souls one, I actually played it on my MacBook Pro. It ran all
were
right.
you
It didn't
doing
really.
this the stream thing, or were you
No, no,
actually?
no.
So all of it was on the Mac.
All of it was on the Mac, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
And it ran pretty good. I mean, it worked. I was satisfied, but obviously, once I got this beast and I saw it running on here, I was like, man, I can never go back to. I can never. Yeah. So,
What
I mean, I
what's
was.
what's in the rig like video card wise that you have?
Man, I got this. Let me see if I can pull it up actually, because I believe so. I bought it from
DX
Best Buy.
DX or something.
I bought it from Best Buy
Yeah.
with my wedding money. Let me see if I
With
can
your
pull it
wedding
up.
money.
Yeah, man, I
You
tell
could
you.
just type start and put DX Diag. It should just tell you right there.
Oh, really? Let me
Yeah.
see. You said DX.
DXDIAG.
There you go. Oh, so the command. All right, let's
Yeah.
go. Window. Do you want to check the side? Okay, let me see.
Or the control center or whatever it's called. Device
So
manager.
the processor is a AMD Ryzen 5 3600,
Oh, you on
six
Team
core.
AMD? Nice. That's
Oh
the
yeah,
yo. Even this 2009 is on Team AMD. I was on AMD before I knew what I was doing.
6 core processor. It says it has 8,192 megabytes of RAM. I'm pretty sure it has an extension on it though.
Wait, you don't have 8 gigs
Uh,
of RAM?
it says 8192 MBs, but I'm pretty sure it has 2 terabytes of something. I
It's
can't
not
remember.
RAM. I'll tell you that. But I mean, because then you have a server
Uh,
in your room, and you the goat. You the goat.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. It is that is how much it is on the memory. That's right. Because I was gonna add more to it because it's like
I
this
was
little
like,
stick. It's like a little stick on it, and it's real easy to add. My friend told me to do it, but yeah, that's what it is. And I mean, I
but wait,
like it. I'm
what's the video
satisfied with
card? I
it.
just wanted to know mainly that though.
Video card. Let me see here. No, that's the speakers. No, that's all. So let me
There should
go.
be a video tab. I could open up mine, but I
Uh,
don't want to.
processor. I'm trying to find it, man. It's not showing here. I know what it
You didn't
is,
just type
but
DX. If you type
no, I
DX
have
dot,
it
it should
pulled
be
up.
right
But
there. Hold
what
on.
would the video card be under?
I'm
The
opening up
system?
right now. Just display one.
Display one. Okay, display one. Sorry, I never. Uh, it says AMD Radeon graphics processor. Is
Oh,
that
is
the
that what
video
you
card?
have? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's the AMD. So you ain't got a NVIDIA card. That's interesting.
yeah.
Damn,
I mean,
and you that happy? Just imagine. Just imagine.
yeah, man. I mean,
You
um,
literally.
when I first got this,
Yeah,
these I guess these parts they literally just came out. Like these are like the brand new ones. At the time, I got this in 2019, and
yeah,
I mean, I'm extremely satisfied with it, man. It was running. The games were getting anywhere from 200 or 300 FPS, man. Like I remember, StarCraft ran really good. Um, League ran really good. Diablo, of course, because it's older game, ran really good. Street Fighter. I haven't really played anything like that's I guess too heavy like Grand Theft Auto. So I can't really. I'm not really into that. So
now here
I'm
playing,
just
you
like,
know, out here playing FPSs at their highest,
no.
anti-aliasing
I mean,
nonsense.
I'm not like that, man. I mean, I think even like Fortnite ran good, but like I'm extremely satisfied with it, man. Like it hasn't let me down, and it's
Yeah,
been it. I mean, I'm not going for like this crazy like I don't know like $5,000 PC, i9 whatever.
yeah,
Uh, I just told the guy, or when I was looking, I was like, man, I just want to get something that could pretty much last long and be able to kind of upgrade on my own. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
as the parts get older, new parts came out, I want to be able to kind of keep the frame and change everything else that I want to, add more RAM, add more fans for cooling, stuff like that. I want to be able to customize it myself to my own liking. And this was kind of like the building block, and I got it for a pretty good deal. I think it was on sale for $599. It was like originally like 800, so I got like 200 off. So I was real happy with it. And I know people would be like, "Oh, you could have built one for cheaper for better," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's true, but I don't know what I'm doing." And then people will say, "Well, just Google it." It's a
People
lot
don't
easier.
understand the time value of money. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
like
exactly.
because you losing what you're quote unquote saving in money because everybody's so
Yeah,
attached to money. You're losing in your time. You know,
exactly.
so
And then you could run into not hooking it up correctly, which could pretty much worst case scenario, get start a fire. You know what I mean? I remember there was a computer company that they weren't wiring their computers correctly, like
yeah,
gaming computers, and they're like catching fire. You know what I mean?
yeah,
If
yeah,
that happens, I mean, there goes all the parts I just played, and potentially there goes my house. You know what I mean? So, why risk it? Go for the people who get paid to do it. That's what I always say. I'm not like one of those types who I'm not gonna diss the fact that I could pay somebody to do something for me. You know what I mean?
for sure. I feel like the way things are leaning, whenever upgrade time comes for me, it's probably gonna be laptop. Like, is I have a Mac right now for my laptop. It's
Yeah,
2014,
yeah.
so I'll probably update that. And then like I really wanted to no longer have any desktops, man. It would be just everything laptop. And who knows, maybe that still happens. But then like during this week of nothingness, like I was just in the room and I was looking and I was like, it would be nice to have newer gear, but I was like, technically, if I just get a chip, a motherboard, RAM, and probably a new power supply, because I assume all the new shit just takes more,
Yeah, yeah,
energy,
for sure. Yeah, yeah,
So like, I'm like those four things. I'm like, all right, well, technically, I have a brand new computer. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
so I was like, all right, like maybe I'll just have the heavy desktop for Windows, and then the portable for Mac, and like
yeah,
that'll probably be fine. But we'll see.
yeah, for sure, man. Especially with what you do, I always feel like the Mac is like ideal. You like music and all that, so you could
That
pretty
is the
much run it.
stereotype for sure, but I mean, you can do both on both. So what ended up happening, like as I do more of these, and I'm trying to tweak you, I did a real long podcast with somebody. It was like 4 hours, and I don't do nothing to these. It's the simplest of stuff. It's not like when I was
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
concerts and other stuff. It's very simple. I just cut some stuff out, and then I'm like, cool, render it. And I don't use Adobe no more, so part of this is probably that. But like, yo, this shit 2 weeks ago, the Mac told me like it was gonna take 7 to 11 hours. I was like, stop it.
Eh,
And I don't know. I
stop
just
it.
started looking at my I started looking at this computer, yo, and lo and behold, I figured it out on here. And I did that same. It's 2009 computer. I did that same render in 40 minutes on this computer, and
Dang.
I was like, the Mac is retired from all video services from now on. I was like, it's sad but true. I was like, so
Man,
now the
that
Mac is my music machine right now. It's not my video machine no more. And here I could tell you why. As I was diving down deep research, there's actually a GeForce 770 in that MacBook. However, around like I don't know how much you know about like the Apple lore of their OSs, but basically there was a OS around the time Mojave and the one before it. I don't remember. High Sierra, I think. And basically they broke up with Nvidia, and a lot of the Nvidia drivers and the CUDA drivers, in particular, that exist now, they don't have them for the Mac. They like have their little funky relationship. They don't want to do it. So honestly, if they had those drivers, my 2014 Mac, like I might be like, you know what? Still don't need a new laptop. Like dead ass, cause like the thing is I have a video. Basically, to tell it short, I have a video card in my Mac that I can't
yeah.
actually use. It's just there, like hanging out. So I don't notice it for normal stuff like browsing and even doing music, cause it's music, watching movies, whatever the hell, But if I try to do like real video work or rendering, processing, GPU stuff, then you notice it big time, and that's the negative of the Apple world, where it's like Apple and let's go. And I know some people say it's stupid, but I think next time I have an Apple product, like I will probably never update the OS the entire run. Like I'll probably update it until that run of that OS, but then that's it. Like
Yeah.
because I've seen significant declinement every OS iteration since I've had
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Mac. And it's like,
I
what
agree.
happened? My computer was godlike on Tuesday. It's trash on Thursday. I was like, what
Yeah,
just
no,
happened?
I agree with you, man, because it's the same way with the phones and iPads, man. You upgrade those and then
All the
yeah,
Apple
man.
things.
I have a
Yeah.
2013 MacBook Pro over here that I haven't turned on in years, and it's just sitting there.
What did you use it for?
School. I use it for school.
Okay.
Um,
It's probably still good as a Chromebook.
Probably is, man. I haven't turned it on. I don't even know where the charger is. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I have no idea where the charger is. It's somewhere. I'm pretty sure I can find it.
Yeah.
But I haven't used it, and I mean, it was good. I mean, I'll tell you what, man, that was one of my favorite laptops. I really enjoyed it. But kind of like you said, like I think it was 2015. We started getting like update. I felt like it was updating every week, man. I was like, what the heck is going on with these people?
Because
Like,
around that time they switched to the same style like Windows switched. I forgot what
mhm.
it's called, but in theory, all these OSs are like they're not betas, but they're
Yeah,
constant. They're not like final iterations. What was the last real OS they said? Windows 7, right?
I think so.
Something like that. But yeah, after that, now all these OSs they're in constant, like our video games, right? This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
their DLC. There is no final iteration anymore, and Apple switched to that around that time too, I believe.
Yeah, and
Um,
it was just updating, and before you know it, it was terrible. And I was like, man, I didn't even use it for school anymore because it was just so slow. I was like, my iPad is like way better. I just bought this iPad and it works better than my MacBook Pro, which blew my mind.
yeah, that stuff's severely disappointing. And the thing is, like, I was paying money for that Adobe Cloud, if you know anything about that, and it's like, dude, every OS iteration, Adobe got worse, and almost, and funny enough, every Adobe update, it
Yeah,
got worse. And I was like, well, now I'm paying Adobe too, but I still have to stay with the old ones because the new ones worked worse on my thing. It was crazy. It was all kinds
yeah.
of stuff.
I
And part
feel
of
you
that
on
had
that,
to do
man.
with the Nvidia stuff I was talking about, because a lot of the newer stuff was designed to work with Nvidia drivers that Apple no longer allowed. So,
Yeah, that's
yay.
crazy, man.
Yeah. So hooray that. Like,
For
funny
sure.
enough though, like, even though I can now do video on this computer, like something simple like some of that music stuff, man. I like something that might take like 10-20% on my Mac. I open up that same program on my Windows, yo, that should take like 60%. I was
Man, that's funny.
like,
Crazy.
so it's still king in the audio department right now. I haven't found out the 2009 Windows hack at least. Not that
Yeah,
like
man.
actually, I guess I probably have an old battery in the motherboard, so it like resets when the power outage happened.
Mm.
And so I had this old school drive. I don't even remember what they're called, but I have this old school drive in there that I unplugged. And when it booted my computer, it was just booting like a default whatever. So it actually booted Windows XP, and I was like, "Yo, I haven't seen this in years."
That's funny.
I was like, and
Windows
then
XP.
because some other stuff on here is maybe beyond it, it started complaining about Nvidia and GeForce drivers, and I was like, I could barely move the mouse. The mouse didn't even move. I was like, why are you doing this? And once I figured it out, it was whatever. But yeah, it was just kind of funny. It was like a time travel loop for a minute. So,
Yeah, I bet, man. Sounds like fun. That's just crazy, man.
but yeah, man, computer struggle,
I
computer
agree,
struggle.
man.
I yeah, I don't know. Like I haven't tried. The last game I tried running on this computer was Metal Gear 5 when it was new. It came free with the video card.
That's crazy.
Phantom Pain.
Yeah.
Though these fans, actually, I didn't even have these fans on there yet. These fans kind of just do one speed forever, and you hear
Crazy.
you hear it, and I didn't mind that because this is a relic of a machine. But the other one did have varying speeds at the time, and I would boot up Metal Gear, and it would be like,
That's, man, you know what that reminds me of is like the PS4s, man. For some reason, those things are like really loud. Like I remember when I would play Fortnite, it would just be you could just hear the fans just going, and then when I would play Street Fighter, same thing. And I was like, man, this is like, is that normal? Apparently it
things get
was,
hot, man. They
but
get hot. Like, and then you got to take into account what PS4 you're playing too. How old
yeah,
is it? Like if you're playing one
yeah,
of the first generation ones, first and second,
yeah,
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 it might be like working. It might be working.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. But that's what I was like, man. This thing is working for this game. And then I go and run Street Fighter on my PC, and it's just like I was like, man, this game actually looks pretty nice on here.
mm,
So, I yeah, I mean that's really what I've been up to, just messing around with it. I haven't when I first got this PC, I was really playing StarCraft a lot. I got really into that game, man. I mean, I wasn't any good. It was fun. It
yeah.
definitely was fun, but that's what I really was playing for a couple months, and then I fell back to Diablo for a little bit. That game is just so you forget about it for like a year, and then you start playing it again, and it's just like the best thing ever for like 3 weeks, and then it's just like, eh. But I mean, I'm very happy that they're releasing that remaster, man, because Diablo 2 is great. That's like one of those games, man, that you could always just play it. You can go back to it. There's just so much stuff that you could do, and it's so diverse. I was excited when I saw that announcement.
Do you have any interest in 4 at all?
Of course I do. I always I want to play 4. It's going in a very
Real quick, did they
weird.
announce anything after Friday? Because I saw people talk about Diablo 2 on Friday, and then I
Mhm.
saw everybody ignore that new class on Friday. But did anything else get announced on the weekend?
Absolutely nothing. They just talked more about it. They talked more about the games. Everybody's more excited for Diablo 2, obviously, and I don't blame them because that game was.
Did you play
Uh,
StarCraft, Tomas, at all? Oh, you
uh,
did. I didn't know he played. I didn't know he played any games. That's my homie, Tomas.
yeah, StarCraft is just, man, that you could start playing one match, and before you know it, like you're like already an hour deep in that match, and it's just like, Jesus, there goes an hour of my time. But then you
Yeah.
want to play more, and it's just, that game. I actually played the original, the first two StarCraft 1 and then Brood War. I played those back high school, even though that was a little bit of the later lifespan of the game. That game was still around like 10 years after it came out. People were just crazy for it.
I think I haven't
Um,
played StarCraft since I was in New York, and I think that was before 2003.
yeah, I was playing like 2008, man. Like
Right, that game
the
did
game was
exist
just
back
great.
then, right? I'm not tripping, right?
I think it. I think it
Like,
dropped in '99. I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
man.
So
Let
I'm
me.
not wrong, right? Because I'm like, I don't know. I
No,
just
you're. Let me check that real quick. I'm pretty sure that it did. I mean, yeah, it came out 1999,
Yeah,
or
see, that
actually,
makes sense.
98 actually,
That makes
March
sense, yeah.
31st,
Because
98.
back
Yeah,
then, like, it was still easy to download computer games off the Usenet.
yeah.
You know, like,
The worst computer could run the
yeah.
game. It just it just blew my mind. Like I had a computer that was really old, or it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was bad. What's crazy is first computer my parents bought was like $1,000. This was
Yeah,
like in '98, and I'm pretty sure that it wasn't like the greatest, but it was good enough. But that it ran StarCraft and it ran Diablo and
yeah,
Diablo 2. Um, but it's just crazy like how old devices were just used for that. It's just crazy. And
damn.
nowadays
Old school
you
gamer
download
Tomas here. Red
you
alert.
download a game and it's just like, oh, your driver is not strong enough for this, and it's just like you need this, you need that. It's
I feel
crazy.
like, so I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know what a Radeon equals to Nvidia. Like which series my like I just don't know any of the MEMD conversions in my head. But I know for Nvidia the standard seems to be 1600. I feel like you have that right now. You can play anything. Will it look
Yeah,
good?
exactly. Mm.
That's up to you. That's up to
Depends.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they'll all be playable. Like how
Yeah.
good you need
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
to look. If you need them to look good, then you probably don't want a 1600. If you want them
Yeah.
all playable, 1600 is gonna play everything right now though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's
And
all that really matters.
so you get more frames than your typical console would get, which is, really,
Yo,
I
I
guess
think
that's
I
really what you're
think
looking for.
I mean I would say that, right. Who knows, right? Until final sales happen, but in my head, I was like, at the point, consoles never really had a chance. But I guess growing up, how I grew up, like in New York, and like like those are the minority areas. So we had arcades
Yeah.
and then consoles. So like those are the games I primarily played. But at this point, where everything's kind of more integrated, I'm like, yo, they have no chance. The only chance they have is just exclusive titles, something like
Yep.
FF7 remake. But other than that, I'm like, hardware wise, I'm like, that's just trash. Because even when they step ahead, the computers just get them within the year.
I mean, because the
Like,
computers, it seems like the computers update like on a monthly basis. It feels like, like it
well,
just feels
it's
like.
starting to look like right now for processors. Ever since AMD made the Ryzen's, good choice with that. Every November, it almost like just the
A new one
same
comes
way
out.
Apple
Yeah.
drops they thing every year, and a rapper does something on Christmas. Like every November, they're like, "Hey, look at the exponential
Yeah.
growth of our new Ryzen series," and it murders Intel again. And every
Yeah.
November, Intel never has nothing for them. Like so, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I don't know how often Nvidia does it, but like, their 3000 is you still can't buy it. You still can't buy. And AMD also dropped video cards in November too. Their new ones. So it's like
Yeah.
it do seem every year. For now, with AMD, at the worst case, there will be processors available. I don't know how often video cards come out, but it definitely look like every year we're gonna get new processors. And to be fair,
Yeah. Yeah.
AMD is behind in the video card race, so I wouldn't be surprised if they drop a video card every year too. Until they, which I don't, who knows, right? You never say never, but it's hard to imagine them catching up to Nvidia. But a lot of people would have said that about Intel too, so who knows. Um,
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, there is a lot, right? I remember as I always look for like information about my like potentially get a new Mac. I think somebody wrote in the comments, right? If you need it, because you can never really chase technology because there's always something new. But someone wrote like, if you need it now, buy it now. If you don't, wait. If you don't
Yeah.
need it
Yeah.
now, like yeah.
That's exactly what I
So
did with
like,
the with my PC. Like I've been wanting one for a very long time, like since 2017. I want because I had one. I bought one in early 2016, and this thing is like, oh my god, it, that was a waste of money. I'll admit it. I took the L on that one. It was advertising 60 frames per second, and this was back in like 2015 is when it first came out, but I bought it in 2016.
yeah.
That thing is just garbage, man. I still have it. It's right here next to me. I'm just staring at it. Like I really wish I get all the money I threw up on you and get that back. My friend told me I could save the parts, and I was like, man, I don't even know if it's worth saving. That thing's terrible. Bad memories. I mean, this thing hasn't let me down, and I'm very satisfied with it. And Yeah, I mean,
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Hey, yo, I gotta ask you. I mean, the main thing was
mhm.
to talk about the power outage, but we did that already. But now, like in my head, I was just like on some personal shit. How on earth do you tolerate still watching wrestling?
Oh man, it's funny that you're saying that. So we could talk about this because I'm about to go eat my dinner at 6:30 because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
pay per
What
view is
time is
actually
it? So I could.
it's 6:07.
Okay.
The pay per view is actually on right now, which is Elimination Chamber, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh shit!
um,
I'm
how do
surprised
I
you
say?
even able to take a moment for me. Then.
Oh, the bigger matches aren't towards the end, like
Got
always.
you.
Those are
I'm
what I mean. These
undercard
are
status. I got you. I'm
yeah.
undercard status. Is Alexa
So
Bliss fighting today? That's like Alexa
I
Bliss
don't
and
think she
Randy
is.
Orton are the only people I don't mind watching their YouTube clips if it's WWE. Everybody else I have no interest in.
I
So
mean, let's see what the card is right now. I mean, I know there's only a few matches. I know there's two chamber matches. There's a title match. So right now, so like they already did. Oh, that was on pre-show. So I don't pay attention to pre-show. Never. I think pre-show's stupid. Like if I could change one thing in wrestling, get rid of the pre-show. That's like exactly what I would
is
just
that
get rid
is
of the pre-show.
pre-show like sports? They just start talking and stuff.
No, pre-show is just one random match, and they call it the pre-show.
Okay.
Do you remember Sunday Night Heat?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Damn.
You remember how they used to have Sunday Night Heat, and then they'll go into the pay per view.
Yeah.
That's
That
the
was the
pre-show.
teaser. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So you're gonna get a
yeah. And
fluff
it's just
match.
it's stupid.
Yeah. It's a
So
dark match
looks
that
like
ain't dark.
yeah, exactly. So there's two chamber matches. Both I'm actually interested in. There's a United States Championship match, which I mean that match doesn't matter. And then there's gonna be a title match at the end, and then there is a women's title match, but the opponent isn't announced. And then there's also a tag team for the women's tag team match. So
How you have a
that
women's
one,
title match and you don't even know who's in the match, and it's a pay per view?
the person she was supposed to fight is actually pregnant, so they had to pull it like last minute.
Okay.
Yeah. So how do I still watch wrestling? Well, I
I
do want
mean
to
that
know.
jokingly because like as I started to try to get back into fall, like
Yeah, yeah.
it's some of it is tough, right? It's not the same thing I grew up on, and it's kind of
No,
tough
it
to
really
watch.
isn't,
It's kind of
and
tough to watch.
that's why I really like AEW because I feel like AEW is like a fresh breath of air. It's not like that.
It's
That
definitely different. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's
yeah.
good either, but it's different. It's different.
It's not it's not the pretty much the it's not the WWE way. You know what I mean?
It
It's
ain't.
so
It
different.
ain't. It's
Like
almost to me, and maybe this is me. Like I almost feel it's anti-story. To me, the WWA is story over everything, narrative over
yeah,
everything. AEW,
yeah, yeah,
I feel like they almost anti-story, or they think they're doing a story, but they're not because
yeah.
they're not. It's not. It's not a story there.
Well, also they only have about 2 hours once a week, so
You could still
it's
do it. See, you could still do. Sorry, Monday Night Raw was 2 hours. And like
yeah, yeah.
their
But
problem
remember,
is they still. So you just said it right there. They only have 2 hours once a week.
yeah, yeah,
They also have
yeah,
2 hours of dark matches on YouTube. You could do
yeah.
stuff
AW
there
Dark.
too,
Yeah,
but their problem is they don't let the 2 hours stop them.
yeah, yeah,
All like I don't know how many people on their roster. Let's just say 200. All 200 people. Let's say like 150 of those people are gonna be in those 2 hours, and it's like. This is why there's no story to me. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they don't pick maybe like 5 people to really focus on, and everybody else like, look, man, maybe one day you get your day. Which again, this is what I'm saying. It's definitely not WWE. WWE
Yeah,
back
yeah,
in the day would have totally done that shit. Like you ain't
yeah,
Stone
yeah.
Cold, fuck you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then,
Like-
well, one thing I really do like about AEW is I really like the commentary. I feel like their commentary is very good because
How
I
so?
feel
Like
like
what makes it stand out?
the WWE commentary, you could definitely tell that that's like 95% Vince McMahon feeding them lines of what to say
Yeah.
and throwing like their gimmick. Like I'm tired of hearing whatever their gimmick is. Like
Like oh
I
my
don't know,
god for
like
Joey Styles back in the day.
no, not that. Like for the wrestlers, like Randy Orton, they call him the Viper. It's like
Yeah.
hearing the Viper like 95% of the
Oh,
chance
they
of his
gotta
match.
remind you, put it in your
Yeah,
head.
yeah, they gotta keep saying it. They gotta keep saying it. It's just
The
annoying.
Viper's
And
viping.
like when Finn fought Seth in SummerSlam, he was the demon. And all you
Yeah.
heard was the Demon King, the Demon King. Be sure to emphasize that he's the Demon. I'm like, dude, we heard it like we already know who this is. Like, we don't want to hear the same thing over and over. Oh, the Swiss Superman, the Swiss Superman. Like, just throwing their character like every 5 seconds. It's just really, it's really annoying. That's what kind of like throws me off. That's why sometimes, dude, I just listen to music when I watch the matches because
Damn.
I don't want to hear that. But when AEW, they're actually very authentic and they're commentating on the match. You know what I mean? Like, they're talking about the match.
They surprised me
And
in that they have 3
yeah,
to 4 commentators, and at least again, me coming from my day, my time, they have people who technically do the same role. Like
yeah, yeah,
JR and Tony Schiavone are like the same role according to the old ways, you know?
yeah, yeah,
So to have them both commentate with each other is kind of interesting. One, of course, me, like, all right, 2 legends, that's cool to see, but I'm like, that
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
have even been allowed in the day because they technically both play-by-play people, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But it's great to hear them commentate because I think they're a good team together, and then Excalibur is really good, and Jericho's really good
I
whenever he's
don't
on the
know who
mic.
Excalibur is. I know who he is, but I really don't know where he comes from. That's what I mean. I don't know who he
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
but yo,
Luchador.
Jericho is my favorite commentator. Like, I know they don't pay him for that, but they might as well. Like, I would
Yeah,
like literally watch if he was there 100% of the time.
yeah, yeah. And then also, I like when Taz is on the mic. I've always liked Taz on the mic. I think he was
Yeah,
always really good. So, and that's going back to when he was on the mic in WWE. I always liked him. I hate Michael Cole. I just want to throw out there. I really I despise. I can't stand his commentary. Like, I really can't. It's just annoying. And NXT, they actually have Wade Barrett. He used to be a wrestler. He's doing
yeah.
commentary for them, and he's actually really good too. And Samoa Joe is actually very good.
Yo,
Like, it
I
just
went through Samoa Joe's wiki like maybe a month ago, and I was like, yeah, what happened to him? This guy, yo, TNA is like, we probably need to do like another podcast where we just only talk about wrestling. But yo, TNA, like, cause they love reminding people like, hey, remember when we were dope? You know, like whether it's on their
yeah, yeah,
YouTube or even in their
yeah,
show,
yeah.
they're always like showing the past. And it's like, yo, Samoa Joe for me was one of the top wrestlers in his time.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
like,
for sure.
this dude's sitting on a chair now? Like
Um,
like, you don't want him to wrestle no
he
more?
he went through like a very very long streak of getting injured. Like,
So is it
he,
injury driven? Because me
yeah,
being
yeah, yeah,
hater,
yeah,
I was just like WWE, stupid, stupid.
yeah, yeah. No, don't get me wrong. Like he's great. Like, bro, some of his promos when he was in WWE is just straight fire,
Did
and
he
like
have
his
a good
matches.
run in WWE? Because I feel like they wouldn't really give him the respect he deserves.
I I think that he would have, but injury played a huge factor. Like, um, he was getting good pushes, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
he's being booked very good.
yeah, yeah.
He gets hurt. He gets hurt. So then he has to miss time, right? He comes back. You know, they want to start off where they left off, more momentum. Gets hurt again. It was so I think they kind of like say, hey man, like he just keeps getting hurt and hurt. And then even during COVID, like he came back in 2020 and then he got hurt again, and that's why he's on commentary. It just he just was getting hurt, and you know, as a business side, you could understand why they kind of like never really gave him that true championship run because you know he's getting when somebody keeps getting hurt like that. I mean,
Yeah,
you really
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
trust them? You know what I mean? But that's really what it is, and it's unfortunate because he's a great wrestler. He's great in the ring. His promos are just like on fire. Like, I would rate him as top tier. You know, if we do a tier list
Yeah.
for wrestlers in there, he would definitely be in the
AJ
top.
was right next to them, so I'm
Yeah,
surprised to see AJ there too. You know, is
yeah. Well, I
AJ
think
still dope?
AJ's the best man. Yeah, he's great. He can't have a
AJ the
bad
goat.
match.
AJ the goat. AJ.
He really is. He can carry pretty much anybody in the match, and that's great. And yeah, I think he had a great run. I mean, he's a 2-time champion. He had the belt for over a year. I believe he's had the U.S. and the Intercontinental, so he's had the resume, and he's done pretty good, man. And you know, I'm not disappointed. The only thing I wish is I wish he won the Rumble this year, but I
Mm.
understand why they gave it to Edge because I mean, to come back
Legend's gonna
to
legend, let alone his story, the injury story.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he deserves it. I mean, when somebody tells you, "Hey, you can't do this anymore," like say, "Hey, you know what? You can't make music anymore. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
you're done." And then you're like, "You know what? I can." And then 10 years later, you do it. Of course, they're gonna give you a push. You know.
Yeah. I
So
get
I
it.
think I think that's what they did with them, which is understandable. But again, WWE was being WWE when he came back. But I mean,
So
just
like
the
to like this. All right, we still got like 15, but like, so here's something like that makes no sense to me, right? If we go to AEW, like, and again, like I probably only gave them a month, and now I just kind of watch their YouTube highlights because it's just a tough show for me to watch. But like, I don't know if Sting eclipses Jericho in the price tag, but at the time before Sting got there, Chris Jericho, even Cody Rhodes said like, "Yo, like he was naming the tiers of people's pay." And he was like, then
Yeah,
there's a Chris Jericho tier because he gets paid more than everyone else.
yeah, yeah.
And so I'm like, how can you be paying this dude like all this money and like how is he not like if this was WWE, at least in my day, I don't know how they run now, but like Jericho would be almost a pivotal storyline. Not that he needs to have the title, but a pivotal storyline at all times. And yet it seems like the AEW normal is group everybody into groups of 5 or more. like, and like yeah, yo, there's some weeks. What's his group? What's Jericho's group? The Circle of
The inner
Inner
circle.
Circle. Yo,
Yeah, yeah.
some weeks they just fighting themselves, and I'm like, what kind of story? Like, how you pay this guy? That's like paying like a top level athlete, and then you just have him there. Like he's just one of the boys. Like he's
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not even being like a star or nothing.
I think
Like
it's because they don't have anything for him right now, which sounds kind
that
of
doesn't
weird.
make any sense.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what you do?
yeah,
You make something for him right now. Yo, even if that something is yo, just get the mic and talk. He'll make something. He
yeah,
can
yeah,
do like
yeah. No, I get that. And then one thing I do notice about AEW is I feel like they just throw some matches together. Like I remember when Moxley was defending his title against people, he'll just be fighting like
for
random
no reason.
people,
There's no reason.
and it's just like there's no build up. Which
Part of
a
that
part of
can be
me,
good, yes, like because we
yeah, yeah,
like
part of it
dope
can be good.
wrestling and
Can
blah
be
blah
good.
blah. But it's weird to see that at somebody who I assume they want to be like real, like is owned by a billionaire, right? And it seems like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
want this to be a real business. So it's just weird seeing those indie things here, you know?
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely, man, and it is a little strange, and it kind of throws it off. But I mean, I kind of, to me, it's like fresh, man, because like I feel like in WWE, man, we see the same matches week after week. That's why I really don't watch Raw on SmackDown Live. I'm kind of like what you do. I watch like the highlights. Like
Yeah,
if there's something good, or if there's like a good match they announce, and I'm gonna be like, okay, I want to watch that because I've never seen that before. But some of the storylines, it's just like
they're real bad, man. They're
and
real
just
bad.
the
They're
same
real
matches,
bad.
man.
Like, yo, how long has Taz been beefing with the Darby Allin's crew? And like that shit's been
Uh,
forever. And it's not even like, and I feel like nothing happens week to week. They just
I
come in.
think it started in May, so it's been almost a year because that's when Brian Cage first came out. He came out, and then that's like when it pretty much started with
So you
them.
see, I don't even know anything about that. But just from the time I started paying attention, they would always be bothering him. And I'm like, from that little time, I guess somewhere around fall, I don't feel like anything big has happened between them. They just kind of like jab each other every week. I guess somebody got kidnapped, but outside of that,
I mean, the biggest thing
like,
is going to happen is obviously they're going to fight with Sting,
but it's like if you only have
and
four
yeah,
pay-per-views a year, like you got to do something in between. Like you got to do something.
yeah, yeah.
like,
Gotta have the fillers. Yeah, I agree. And that's another thing. They remember they only have 4 pay-per-views. They're not pay-per-view every month.
but
I
you
remember
see the way
when
that you said 2 hours every week. So like they don't have a Monday Night Raw, right? They have AEW Dynamite, but the way
which
they
is Wednesday.
advertise it, they almost advertise it like it's an event. Like they'll call
Yeah,
it
yeah.
like Bash, like Bash at the Beach. I know that's WCW,
But
but
they'll do like
every
specials
Wednesday
like
is an
throughout.
event.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm like,
yeah.
what? It's just
Yeah.
confusing. It's
I
just
mean,
mad
just
confusing.
keeping it real, I guess, man. But I do agree they do that. Like I don't think they've had one since the Beach Bash or whatever. But I know what you mean, like the winter's coming or whatever. I think that was another one of them. I think they even did one for Jericho because of his anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I mean, I like it. I think it's fresh. It's definitely unique. It doesn't have that
It is different.
it
It is
doesn't have that
different.
WWE feel to it, which
It
is
does not
it
at
feels good.
all. It does not at all. What do you think of the whole thing they're doing where they're kind of like opening the world And now it's kind of just WWE in their isolated world, but now you got New Japan and Impact and AEW kind of playing with each other. What do you think of
So
that?
I think it's great, and they actually commented that they're willing to work with WWE. Like they legit said, hey, if they want to work with us, the doors open. We definitely will. And I think even Kenny Omega said that it's going to happen someday. And I think that's great because like
It probably
it's
won't
really
happen while
cool.
Vince is still there, but like, but when
Uh,
he's gone,
um, yeah, because I think that if Vince would want to do it, he was just like, oh well, my guys need to go over, man. Roman isn't going to lose,
The
stuff
Hogan
like that.
rules, the Hogan
Yeah,
rules.
exactly. And I'm just like, come on. Well, I mean, they have to be able to make them both look good, but I think it's great because I thought it was awesome when like he went to TNA. I mean, because you don't see that, you know what I mean? The
Yeah,
last time that we saw that was when Shane was in WCW, but I mean, WWE bought him, so it
yeah.
wasn't
That's
as
not even real. So do you know
yeah,
what's the
yeah,
last
exactly.
real one in my head? And this is probably not true, in that it's the last one. Who knows? Because I don't know everything. But when I was watching all these like Monday Night War documentaries a few months ago,
Yeah, yeah.
um, I guess Taz from WWE versus Mike Awesome from WCW in an ECW arena for the
Man,
title
that's
belt.
crazy.
Yeah, because they both fought each other for the ECW title while being under contract for the other. For
Yeah.
like, that's
Yeah,
probably the
yeah.
last time and only time something like that ever happened.
Yeah, and it's like really cool because like you have these doors that just open up for certain matches that you want to see but are restricted because they're so and so superstar is with this company. You know what I mean?
So
And
based on what they're doing right now, are they even? So it's cool to have the doors open to do that. Is anything they're doing even right now any of that though?
uh, well, just because you have Kenta who's going to fight Dean, which is pretty cool, and then you have Omega. I mean, really, I think the really cool part would be if it did open up to WWE because I would like to see Kenny Omega against like Seth Rollins. I
Yeah.
think that would be great. Stuff like that, or Roman Reigns versus Brian Cage. I mean,
Mm.
Vince likes big men. There you go,
He
right?
does
Dream
like
match
big
for
men.
him.
I think for better or
Like
worse, that's the scar of wrestling. Vince likes big men. All right, you can sum it up right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like,
Geez, but if you think about it, I mean, do you know how many people would watch that, man? Like, if something like that were to happen for WWE, I mean, they gotta take into consideration if they're struggling in ratings, and you have an opportunity to have something like that happen, and it could just shoot you up to the moon. You know what I mean?
I mean, who from WWE's perspective?
Yeah, yeah. I'm saying that like if they open the doors to like AEW, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like this is where like this is where so some of these I'm taking from like haters like Jim Cornette, but I'm like people like him would argue like at that level, at the mainstream level, right? Who gives a shit
Yeah, yeah,
about AEW, New Japan, and Impact, right? None of those people know who they
yeah,
are.
yeah.
So
True.
it's not gonna give WWE the spike in ratings they want. And then the other thing is like this is that confusing finance stuff, and that yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
ratings might be down, but they're also making more money than ever before, and like they are a public company, so what's the goal, right? Make money or make ratings, and things are great, like they're making money,
yeah, yeah,
right? Like
yeah, yeah.
so, they're
Great.
the incentive for them to do it. I don't know. It would be more because they want to do it, I don't know if there's an incentive to do it, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I hope it does happen because I think it'll be cool. But I mean, again,
One of
as
their
long as Vince is
guys,
there.
one of the non WWE guys, probably needs to be really famous, like really
Yeah,
famous, like I don't want to say rock famous. That's probably too famous. That's probably like,
yeah.
but somebody famous enough that people from the not wrestling world knows who they are. And then if you get that, might be the only time WWE might be open to it, like right now, because it could be like a one-off or something where that guy loses with that to WWE.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get that, man.
But I don't know.
Crazy.
Last, did you have a heart attack when Sting took the power bomb last week?
I was a little concerned. I was all like, no, because like at first I was like, I don't think this dude's gonna do a bump, and then like he picked him up, and I was just like, man, he's taking a bump, and then he took the power bomb, and I was like, man, he took a bump. Like that's just like it blew my mind. I was like, he took a bump. Like I didn't think he was. Like I thought that it was gonna be more of a cinematic match, kind of like Undertaker against AJ.
Yeah.
Where it's gonna be cool. You know what I mean? Like there's gonna be some spots, but it's not really gonna be him taking like an actual bump, like a wrestling bump.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, he took a bump. I guess he's good. I mean, I hope he's good. Just because you never know.
Is that street
With
fight with Sting cinematic? Because yeah, a guy comes here talking about he can't take bumps. Well, not that he said that, but that's everybody's perception. And it's like, so the
exactly.
first match you put him in is a street fight? Wait, what?
Yeah, yeah.
That
It's just for
confused me.
cinematics. I'm sure. I'm sure it's just.
So
I'm sure he's
there's
gonna
a
take some
cinematic
bumps.
fight? There's a cinematic?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be
It's
like
not
that. Like
live?
it's already gonna be. Yeah, I think it's gonna be already pre-recorded, just like that, and it's just. I think that's the way it's gonna be, because obviously it's a street fight. So unless they start off in the ring, which
Yeah.
I doubt that that's gonna happen, I'm pretty sure that. I mean, they may come out and then just start brawling, and then it's just gonna, cut to whatever's been already recorded.
Mm.
But I mean, regardless, I still think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be interesting.
Does
That's
that
definitely
Matt
gonna be
Hardy
the
house at the last one, does that count as cinematic for AEW or no?
yes, yeah. That's like a cinematic.
Okay.
It was
But
fun. I like that, Matt. I thought that was hilarious.
it was hilarious.
You know?
But like something like that, like a lot of it still seems pretty free flowing. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't feel like really cut, and all that,
yeah. And then what's awesome though is with stuff like that. If they have to do a spot over again, they can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's. I mean, that's pretty much what the Undertaker match was. I mean, I thought that was a good match with
I
him
haven't
and
seen that,
Styles.
but I kind of want to see it just because AJ's in it. So
Yeah, I
like,
mean, it was good. It was
yeah.
good.
So I don't know. You got any last words for you get that dinner?
Um, I mean, I really can't wait for COVID to end. I just want to throw it out there.
Put it out in the universe.
Yeah, put on the universe. Stay home, guys. You could drink at home. Don't freak out just because you can't go to a bar. I still don't understand why people need to do that so frequently, and it's just
So
blows my mind,
Corey
man.
just texted me. So I didn't read it, but Corey texted me. He definitely still goes to bars. He trying
Oh
to
yeah,
get
no.
he's trying to get a
Hey
date,
man,
dude. He's trying to get a date.
hey,
Is what he misses that. So that might be why some people still go to bars. They might still want to meet
some
new people.
people they're
That's what
so
I'm trying to say.
reliant on that. I need to go out, and it's just like, man, stay in for a while, bro. That's why I was happy that it kind of snowed. Everybody had to stay in, but even then, people were still trying to go out and get gas. So I'm just like, dude, what are you gonna get gas for? Where are you gonna go? Nothing's open.
No,
You're
no,
gonna
no,
drive
no,
around in
no,
a
no,
circle
no. The gas. So the gas was our generators.
for a generator. You don't. Oh man, but
Generators,
there's no way
or
that many people had generators.
yo, man, you need to take a walk on this block. So first off, this block. If you took a walk on day one, no one had generators. You took a
Yeah,
walk
exactly.
on day
Imagine we
2 or
got 'em.
3. I don't know where they bought these generators from. Everybody had a generator.
My neighbors had a generator. When I came to check on the house on Wednesday, I
Yeah.
heard like this noise, kind of like you said, like that buzzing.
Yeah.
I go outside. I'm like, man, these fools have a generator. I was like, man, it must be nice.
And then even
I
if
was
you don't
like,
have a generator, you still go into the car to charge your phones or whatever you're
exactly.
charging. So like that's where the gas is coming from. I wanted to get
Yeah.
gas during that, and there was a big like pickup truck, and he opened up the back, and he had like 3
Yeah.
bottles ready. So like people
Oh,
were
man.
using it, dude. Like people were.
Yeah.
Yo,
Blows my mind, man.
there's real briefly, any interest in the new Guilty Gear? No, right?
Absolutely zero interest in
figured.
Guilty Gear.
I figured.
I don't believe in anime games. I'm just kidding.
Without going deeper into that, I just seeing who's been playing it and the reaction. And considering right now we live in a COVID world, and the FGC and Smash Brothers, whether you count that or not, that's why I said both. They kind of got canceled last year because of everything,
Oh
So,
yeah, I know. It's weird.
I feel like a game like this is gonna bring people in. Not that it's gonna blow up, because none of these games ever blow up. Not even
Never
the
do.
almighty Dragon Ball Z didn't blow up. But it seems like people picking games on netcode now. And right now it seems like because it switched to rollback, it has proper netcode, and I feel like people are playing it not even because they like it, just because it's playable
feels good,
online.
right?
It's playable online.
Well, I mean that's why again before I go, that's why people are playing Marvel now on PC because they have that new program. That's
Yes, I
pretty
told
much
Brian about it. I don't remember what it's called. But yes, I
Yeah,
told
I don't
Brian
remember what it's
about
called
it.
either,
Yeah.
but it allows you to. It's pretty much offline. You're playing offline, even though you're online.
To some degree, he,
That's
he
all.
explained it to
Yeah,
me, and
yeah.
it depends on where the locations are at. But yes, but Max was playing. I know you don't like him, but Max was playing Guilty Gear with somebody in Europe, and he said this shit was great. Like,
Yeah.
because they're using rollback, just like Killer Instinct. All the American game before Evo got canceled, Evo is gonna be all American Evo. It's gonna change fighting games forever because they all had
Yeah.
proper netcode, and then it got canceled.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yo,
Yeah.
that's it, dude. I'll let you go eat.
All right, man.
Make
We'll
that
catch up
chicken.
again next time.
Yeah, man. Smoke that turkey. Boosh.
Have a good one.